Hello everybody and welcome back to Last Epoch. We are continuing to do monoliths. I am currently level 79, but somehow I'm able to do all these level 90 stuff here, so this is what we're doing today. Let's hop into the monolith here. I haven't really found much in the way of gear. I'm still kind of rocking the stuff I've been rocking since I started the end game. Had a couple of upgrades, I think, in the last episode, which was kind of nice, but for the most part, we're just kind of in the same stuff we've been in. But yeah, that's what we got going on. I can do some runes over here. I could do some runes over here with maybe a helmet. So I don't know that I necessarily... we can try. I guess we can try to see if there's a decent helmet over here. Let's go ahead and hop in here into this Midnight Strand. Obviously, fighting 10 levels above my weight is not the most optimal. Well, I mean, it's optimal from an experience point standpoint, I would imagine, because usually fighting higher level stuff at a lower level is going to benefit you really nice. But, you know... generally, it's never a good idea to fight things that are more than 3 or 4 levels above where you are in most ARPGs that you play. But this game, I seem to have a pretty decent build going with my AoE stuff here, so it seems to work out pretty good. I have a lot of life leech happening, so that when I get to tougher stuff where I need to kind of sit and I need to kind of just DPS things down, I have a lot of leech coming in addition to that, so I'm able to just get. Okay, seriously, come on. Come on. They just finished doing server maintenance, and I guess everybody's trying to get in, so there's that. What do we got here? I'm just going to double... I recently changed my loot filter to something else, because the other filter I was using it had too many rules to keep track of and to make sure that I had everything, so I just kind of went through and just did a basic thing. I'd rather look at more stuff and just judge for myself whether I want it than have a bunch of stuff filtered out and then I end up missing something because I made a mistake somewhere in the loot filter. So I like being able to just kind of I'd rather just take a look and see if I have anything I want. I think that's better for me. Okay, since I'm not well, I don't know. I guess my question is, should I finish the map first and then come back here and do these? Alright, lag yanked me back. Lag yanked me back. That was annoying. Really frustrating. I don't like the way that they handle movement in this game. It should be the client. The client should be the determining factor. And then everything else moves around that. Like, I don't like being yanked back to a place where I was, because a lot of times what ends up happening is you get yanked right back into an AoE thing that wasn't happening when you dodged away from it, but you get yanked back into it anyway because of server lag. I disagree with any game developer who has a philosophy that the server should determine where you are. No, the server should never determine where you are. The client should determine where you are, and the server catches up to it. The server updates that, like, I think you get the point. You get the point. I'm just saying. I don't like being yanked back into something I actively dodged away from, but because the server decided, oh, nope, you're still there, you get yanked back into it and then you die. Or if you're going to do it that way, okay, then there needs to be some kind of lag detection system, and you get invulnerability until the lag is resolved and you're able to, like, recover. It's super frustrating to die only because, the server decided, nope, we're going to pause for a second and you're screwed now. I don't like that. Alright, let's get this. We're going to get this one finished, and then we'll hopefully go back and do that Weaver stuff. I haven't really been messing around with the Weaver stuff very much because when you die in the Weaver areas, there's a ring here. Movement, speed, minion. Yeah, that doesn't have anything that I want. I know I'm not going to pick up uniques just to pick up uniques. I'm not really going to do much with the trade, so I don't know what I would get out of uniques. Let me know in the comments. You have to be a public subscriber for me to see your comments, but if you are a subscriber and you have marked yourself as public, let me know what the benefit is to grabbing uniques if you're not going to sell them. I mean, I guess maybe your other character might be able to use it, but I mean, I'm going to end up grinding those characters anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I guess my chance of dying in here is actually much higher than if I went to another area. Ooh. Because the places, statistically for me, or I don't say statistically, but anecdotally for me, most of the places I've died for, I've died a lot more in these Weaver areas than I have anywhere else. is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Finish this guy off. Grab some stuff off of him. See, getting yanked back because the server is having lag. They need to adjust it to where that's not the way it works. That is super frustrating. I'd rather have the monsters rubber banding around me than to have my character rubber banding around and getting sucked back into stupid crap. Like, that's not the way to do it, man. It's not the way to do it. Do not take away control of my character. Okay, so there ended up being nothing over here. I don't... Copper amulet... Okay. I'll eventually trust my filter once I verify that it's not, like, leaving things on the ground that I want. I'm mostly focused on physical damage and critical strike and poison and bleed, I think, because I like having damage over time as part of my makeup, so that way if I get stuck in a situation where I'm not able to just stand there and DPS whatever I'm attacking down, especially like some of the bosses and stuff that have a lot of AoE stuff that's happening, I like to be able to just have some kind of a DOT on them. So that way I can hit them and then run around, hit them and then run around. And yeah, the fight will go a lot slower because I'm not able to just stand there and burn them down. But, you know, I don't have a lot of survivability, so being able to run around is pretty nice. Health, area of effect with acid flask. I don't really care about either of those things. I've been banishing a lot of these because they're just not coming up with anything that works for my build. And I'm not really focused on trying to collect gear for other characters. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something I'm focused on. I also learned something interesting. If you have an item on here that removes skill points from one of your skills, then when you put it back on, it allows you to reallocate those skill points, which is cool. But if you didn't know that, then you're basically leaving 2 skill levels worth of stuff on the table. To be perfectly honest with you, though, I think that they should adjust that so that you get the benefits of it being 2 levels higher from everything going up 2 levels, and you're not able to allocate skill points. I don't know if that's an intended effect or what, because, you know, that kind of locks you into one set of gear, because now I really don't want to change out my chest piece, no matter how much of a better item I get, unless it's going to, again, increase my this is the main ability I use, and I happen to find a chest piece that gives me 2 extra levels in it, and it's like, I mean, I guess if I can find an affix or something that will allow me to replace that, that would be cool. And I guess the solution for that is to use the rune that removes all of a thing. Just use it several times until I get the affix shards back from it. That's probably the way to do it. That's probably what I need to do. I find a better armor, and then I use the rune that pulls 100% of one item, of one affix off. I don't remember what it's called. I'm not familiar enough with the crafting system in this game to remember what they all are. I mean, even Path of Exile, I don't remember what all the crafting currencies and stuff are, because I don't do a lot of crafting in that game. I almost never have enough in the way of crafting materials to do serious amounts of crafting. I just end up trading for everything. Try to get around this guy. Use our high DPS ability there. I generally save my lethal mirage for when I have something strong to fight. So like this one here, we'll jump in, do that. Hopefully avoid any kind of hard, ridiculous stuff, as I have a really bad itch and can't avoid it. We can stay in the... see this? That's one thought. Not too bad for level, like 10 levels above where I am. And that's why I wanted to finish it first, so that we would get our rewards and complete it. So the trick for me is going to be, I have a high instance of dying in those. So what I need to do is I need to do them, but I need to wait till I finish the map, because yeah, we got credit for finishing the map, but because I need to make sure I do the Weaver part last, just to make sure we're going to get what we're supposed to get. So for this guy here, I mean, I have to wait for level 80, but we have chance to bleed on bow hit. I don't really want that. It doesn't have any other things that I want. Part of me wants to... Well, I guess not. The Exile Code has critical strike and dodge rating. That's really what I want. Okay, so Exile... For the style of gameplay that I'm doing, Exile Coat is the best option. So the Exile gear is the best option for me. If I could get an Exile hat that doesn't have bow damage on it. Is that the base for that? Why would this have critical strike chance and this have bow damage? It's kind of dumb. Whatever. We're just going to shatter this. Yeah, we're just going to shatter all of these. Because I'm not... I know those of you who are super into min-maxing everything are going to say, don't get fixated on the thing. But I'm sorry. I really like this style of hat. So I want to walk around with a hat on. That's just what I do. Let's go see if we can find a better hat here in the Alpine Halls. Instant free gear? Yes. Alright, I need to start trusting the filter. Sorry. I know I'm wasting time when I do that. What's the point in having a loot filter if you're just going to stop and look at everything anyways, but, you know. I want to get out of the fire.
Not happening.
Why? Okay, that was weird. There was a part of the terrain that I was able to dodge over, but I couldn't run over it, so that was super confusing. Alright, let's continue on. Activate shrines to lure out the bosses. Or lure out the ambush, not the bosses. Lure out the ambush. I feel like it's super quiet. Did I turn the volume down on this? No, it's full volume. I don't know why it feels so quiet to me. Ow, that hurt. Alright, I have a lot of leech on my flurry of blades here, but if they hit me with something hard, then I'm screwed, so... Just gotta stand here and move around. Hopefully I'm able to avoid. I also have the skill that makes it... I also have the passive skill point that makes it so that when I'm moving, I take less... yeah, I think it's a passive skill point. When I'm moving, I take less damage. So, there's that. Physical damage, 42, 625. No. If it's a massive drop, I don't even bother. Cast speed and blind on hit, not interested. Okay, there we go. Divine Girdle. Nice. We'll go this way, I guess. Another shrine over here. Give us another chance to lure out the ambush, I guess. I think... I thought I saw some circles showing up over on this side, but I guess not. It was an illusion. I was seeing what I wanted to see. There's one right here, though. Alright, we've activated the ambush, so now we can fight this guy off. Another divine echo, or divine girdle, sorry. So now my question is, how much time do I spend hopefully trying to find the Weaver area in here? Does it tell you in the map if there is a Weaver thing in there? Or do all zones have a Weaver?
Not happening.
Because I don't know. I haven't done enough research. I haven't done enough research on the whole subject there to know. Oh, you suck. Hate it when they do that. Back in the cloud.
They won't forget that.
Just die. Just die. Just die. Come on. We got better things to do than sit here and DPS you down. Cool.
Wasted.
Easy. Too easy.
Yeah, at some point it just becomes not worth it to... At some point it becomes not worth it anymore to just continue running around trying to find it. Another one?
My brilliance is unequaled. I am supreme.
Not happening.
Ah, die. That works too. Yeah, we're just gonna leave. I don't want to spend forever looking around for one of those. Get all that done. So we got a couple of girdles here that would increase our movement speed, which is nice. Give us some throwing damage, health regeneration, and endurance. I mean, neither of those is that compelling. So we'll just shatter all that. All right, I think we can get one more in. What do I want to go for? Unique or set amulet? I don't know. So does it tell me? Does it tell me whether or not there is a weaver option? Oh, you know what? I know that there is also supposed to be. There's supposed to be a weaver passive something. It's like, supposed to be like the Atlas tree. I don't even know how to access it though. How do we access the monolith or weaver or whatever? Yeah, I don't know how to get. I don't know how to get to that. So I guess I got to look it up at some point. Try to figure that out. There's a timeline. I don't see a button on here that leads to anything. So I don't know. I'm thinking we could go toward. Wait, let's go here and try to get. Oh, I don't want to go back towards that though. So what? Stability for this one is 11. 11 versus 13 versus 13, and we could potentially get. I mean, I don't really want an amulet. I mean, I guess maybe. Screw it. We'll just go do this one. We'll do this one and then we'll be done. So what are we doing here? Slay enemies until the cocooned item drops. With any luck, the cocooned item will drop just as we're finding the Weaver area. Okay, let's clear these guys out first so I can actually pay attention to what we're looking at here, because a lot of times you actually have to pay attention to the stuff. So there's a sword, an axe, an amulet that doesn't have anything I care about, and some boots that give more or less nothing I want. So, because I don't think that, yeah, that'd be reduced movement speed. So, again, vanish. But I do need to keep an eye out because my loot filter does filter out the cocooned item that drops here most of the time. So when I see something big and flashy for this map, I do need to take a look at it to make sure it's not the cocooned item. And I believe the quest thing updates as well when you slay enough and it drops. So you just gotta keep an eye out. There we go. Let's finish killing stuff here. And then, yep, that's what we needed. And then we'll grab that, and then we'll head back into here. Grab our amulet, which is, as expected, nothing. Boo! So we got a cocooned mage helmet. I'll go ahead and put that in the stash, because why not? But this is not going to give us... it'll give us some attack speed and damage leeches health, but we're going to lose a bunch of critical strike, and yeah, we're going to lose a lot of stuff if we try to do that. So, we'll go ahead and... Oh, yeah, well, there's always that.
Yes.
We'll just sell this one off. Alright, well, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to come back for future episodes. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. You can join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you want to go that way. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for our next episode, where I should have a fair bit more progression done, and I'll see you then.